According to the Durham report, there was a key meeting at the White House in August of 2016. It was attended by Vice President Joe Biden, President Barack Obama, Attorney General Loretta Lynch, and James Comey, of course, from the FBI. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton knows all about this, and he joins us now. All right, Tom, what's the significance of that meeting?
Well, it shows the leadership of the Obama administration had good reason to know that the leads they were supposedly chasing about Russia collusion were all made up by Hillary to keep herself out of jail.
Was it an obvious hoax right from the start? Was it an obvious hoax right from the start?
It was an obvious hoax. It was, and the Durham report reconfirms, because we know this already, that no matter where they looked, they couldn't find Russia collusion. And they had begun spying in the early part of 2016. They couldn't find anything. The Steele dossiers were coming in. They couldn't verify anything in the Steele dossiers, but they never stopped targeting Trump, which shows that it was always about politics and never about national security. And we had this election intervention like we've never seen before. Richard Nixon must be shaking his head thinking, you know, they moved me out of the White House for much less.
But to confirm, that meeting, August 2016, in the White House, Vice President Biden, President Obama, at that meeting, they knew about the hoax. It was revealed at that point. They knew right there and then.
The CIA director had, intelligence that was substantial enough that he briefed the leaders of our country that the Russians had intelligence that Hillary was going to be pushing out this Russia collusion hoax on Trump to distract from her email problems and her other issues.
Okay. Who do you think is responsible?
And it turned out that the Russians were right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They were right. Yeah, I just want the big picture again for a second. Who's responsible for what I call the most successful dirty trick in American political history? Who's overall responsible for this?
Well, Hillary Clinton is the center of it in the sense that she helped generate the information. She had willing anti-Trump allies in the FBI and Justice Department, obviously. But a lot of this would never have taken place, and the spying and the targeting of Trump wouldn't have gained any traction but for the intervention of her people in getting this false information out, which was largely written, it looks like, according to the Durham report, by a Russian intelligence operative.
So where to from here?
Well, is the FBI going to suffer any consequence? Is the DOJ going to suffer any consequence? And I think we should evaluate current investigations into Trump by Jack Smith and others with the same jaundiced eye that Durham looked at the Russia collusion hoax investigation. Why do we think the FBI is any different this year than it was 3-4 years ago? Why do we think the Justice Department deep staters are any less anti-Trump than they were 3-4 years ago? Right. In fact, it's probably worse given the passage of time and the crazed Trump derangement syndrome that's further taken hold in the D.C. establishment here.
Congressman Adam Schiff, he lied to the American people about what was going on. Now he's going to run for the Senate, a California Senate seat, and I bet he wins. In other words, there will be no political price paid by those people who lied to us.
Yeah, I mean, the frustration Americans have with the Durham report is that it's just a report. Where are the prosecutions of those involved in this seditious conspiracy, I would call it, against the Trump candidacy and then the presidency, and folks like Schiff who abused their offices in the House of Representatives? He had access to sensitive national security information, and he leveraged that to try to destroy the Trump presidency. I tell you, if that's not a coup, I don't know what is.
Yeah, well said. Tom Fitton, thanks very much for clearing things up.